Feature Friday.
The freshest.
This is a first timer. We have checked out Kavita before, and she's considered one of, a legendary singer in India. So this is, of course, we have to check this type of performances and this type of individuals to try and get a grasp of the understanding. But her name, I think, is pronounced Kavita Krishnamurthy or something like that.
Krishnamurthy.
That's how I heard the guys been pronouncing it. And this is an Indian Idol, but the junior version. And it's the first time we're going to see her perform live. So let's give this a watch.
Exciting.
I still
You know what's brilliant?
don't understand how they have such high
Larynx flexibility
but
without
they
moving
don't
it.
move their larynxes.
I totally agree with you. That's a mystery. But you know what's fun? Like
Well,
what
the
I
kids
find
are
really
gonna
interesting.
sing as well.
Oh, how fun! But you know what I find really interesting about her vocal color, though, is that it sounds as if it sounds like that would be the type of the voice that you would hear growing up. Like if it feels nostalgic, if you know what I mean. Like as if you have already heard this a million times, but suddenly you put a body to the voice. You know what I mean? I don't know if that makes sense to anyone else.
I presume it feels like that, but like times 100 for people that actually did grow up with her songs.
Yeah.
But she is really intriguing in that sense because I don't know.
It feels like a hearty, warm, homemade meal. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I would say as well. It's like a perfect cast for any female singing role.
Oh yeah.
Because you would it's like it's so feminine. It's
It
so,
also sounds very motherly. I
that's
don't
right.
know if that makes sense.
Damn, those kids are
Okay,
good.
kiddos. That's one elite choir. Oh, what a great combo.
Also, she's one of the judges, it seems.
Maybe.
Because one of the chairs is empty, I would presume.
Or maybe she's just like one of those guest invited performances.
Grand performances.
Yeah. Difficult singing phrase. Oh, that is the cutest thing. Oh, that is absolutely fabulous.
Good arrangement as well, right?
Yeah. I love the regalness in which he
Can I also say something? Is he just the judge of everything? Always.
I think he's like Billy Crawford in Philippines.
In Philippines. And like fucking, what's his name? The guy that moves his pectorals in America.
Who?
He moves his pecs. He became famous because he has such a big physique. And he can move. Terry Crews.
Oh, I was gonna say Dwayne Johnson.
The Rock. No. The Rock is famous for, I guess, acting as The Rock in other movies.
The Rock Goes to the Jungle.
Yeah, in Jumanji 1 and 2. Or like The Rock.
Hey,
It's
no
a superhero
shade.
now, you know?
I actually want to see that movie because I've heard
Black
not
Shazam.
so bad things
Is it called
about
that?
it.
Black Shazam? Black Adam. Dark Adam.
What?
It's some shit like that. Shazam or something like that?
Shazam
Black
is
Adam. Dark Adam.
Adam? Why is Adam?
Yeah, I don't know.
Never mind. He's in a new movie. It's
And
a
apparently
bunch of CGI.
It's not shit, and that's good enough.
I'm down. I'm
With
good
hero
for
movies,
it. Yeah.
She projects so well. It's so weird.
And the breath is so risen here. How?
I have a question for those watching. What is her background? Like, how? But because a lot of people say, like, oh, she's been doing this for such a long time. We grew up listening to her and stuff. By the way, she doesn't look like she's been. Like people are saying, oh my gosh, my life. It's been a lifetime since, and it's like, well, she looks, I don't know, 50.
Yeah.
So it's like maybe late 40s or something. And the fact that she maybe she was like a child star, sort of
Maybe
like.
she started really young.
Yeah. Like nowadays, like the Shrek or Shao, like Sunilhi, who's a bit older. I guess
That's
Alka
crazy.
Yagnik was also started really young.
Yeah.
Lata Mangeshkar, I think,
Yeah, she
started
also
fairly young as well.
young, yeah.
She just never stopped, essentially. So yeah, really interested about her. If you do know, do let us know.
The modulation is just what is fascinating to me, because there is no physical movement. So if you do come from like a classical background, could you kindly explain that to me? I would love to kind of pinpoint that, because
we experienced it live, but it's still, experiencing it.
Absolutely no sense.
There's still no answers.
No,
I was actually more transported into another universe, because the music, like ragas and all that type of stuff, it's like, I don't know, it feels like it's like a spiritual thing.
Yeah, they tapped into something else, something untangible, and they make you travel with you. Like, they make you travel with them, if you know what I mean.
So you can't really sit there and analyze technique that much.
Yeah, you kind of get lost in the process.
I'm kind of mesmerized. I wonder what the guy in the drum pad is actually doing.
I think it's that like the hi-hat sound.
It could be, but if it was the hi-hat, it would just be but he's doing tung, 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 the same as the tabla, so I wonder what he's adding.
That's beautiful. That's so beautiful.
And you get that same feeling with her, where it's like it's not even like a performance. It's not even like in it, like you're not trying to like please or impress. It just feels like this is what she would be doing anyways.
Yeah.
If it was at home with her kids or with her family or with her friends.
Yeah, it kind of feels like you're joining into something that has already been happening. Like,
it's just the cameras happened to be on.
Yes, it kind of feels like reality TV a little bit, like reality, like you're watching something real.
I guess also when you've done it for such a long time and you're that good, like you've refined, you've built so much experience.
It's so second nature.
Yeah, it's essentially like eating.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's so second nature. Aww.
Yeah, I think she's one of the judges.
Oh, cutie. Oh my God.
Absolutely my honor and my privilege. Thank you.
Oh,
you see what I mean? What woman?
Like, that's another thing that strikes me like such a surprise always. Why? I don't know. That should be the norm, right? But these artists that are so renowned and so respected in the Indian music industry are so humble.
Yeah.
Like they kind of like act as if, this is just my job, and you just happen to be part of it.
Yeah, dude, like I don't know how your ego doesn't get inflated when you're
What?
considered one of the greatest of all time in a specific industry. I guess for them it's just maybe they didn't even try to achieve that. It just sort of happened. Opportunities come, you take them by the hand. Bless you.
Thank you.
Sneeze, mate.
I did.
But it has this tendency of sneezing inwards. You're gonna blow a blood vessel or some shit, and you're gonna die. You have to achoo. You have to sneeze. But it would be. I think for them, it's like they probably didn't aim to do that. They just sort of they sing. It's their love of it's their passion. It's
It's
their
like
first
their love of their life. I agree with that.
And they happen to be able to monetize it, make money from it, have a career. People seem to enjoy it. They refine their craft.
Yes.
They travel. They make more songs because more opportunities come.
And then everything else that comes with it is like a byproduct of their love for the craft. Not because that's the genuine
because they wanted
goal.
to be the best singer ever.
Yeah. That's so wild, bro.
It's so weird, right? Because
I wonder where it comes from, because it's a common phenomenon. Like you don't see that.
It's also a different mentality, I think, from back in the day. Like people from the 60s, 70s, and 50s were just built different. So
people were incredibly resilient to challenges as well.
No, and also, I don't know if in music in the 70s and the 80s, there was such especially in different parts of the world, there was such a clear path that you could, become rich from this, or you could do well with this, and you could actually build that life out of this. Maybe it was more like
opportunities stumble upon, and then you take them by the horns.
But now it's like people get into music because of the money. They get involved because of the money and the, I don't know, I guess the fame and all that shit. But I guess back in the day, because fame wasn't as easily accessible.
Correct.
You had to put in so many more rounds than you did now.
And I don't think that was like, well, I'm basing it off of back home in Venezuela,
Yeah.
where we come from. Like, you could see it with folkloric singers. They kind of like, they gain popularity by
Just through-
luck, by a pure
Song after song after song.
and it was kind of like, oh, they invited you to be in this person's party, and this person happened to have another party coming up, and then kind of like, and that kind of builds a name, and then
And one of the people
somehow-
turns out works for a TV station.
and then we're
then
like,
this-
oh, come to the TV show, and then that's
went-
how. But it never had like a path. And if you asked everybody that had a name in the era, even in the late 80s, they would tell you a completely different story to the person standing right next to them, because it was such a mystery.
They
you
also,
know?
what they did also have in common, which I guess is sort of relevant as well to nowadays, is like they had a relentless work ethic.
Oh yes.
But like music was their life, and you'd find that a lot of the time their personal life was actually not their priority, so it was kind of mad. The interesting thing about like the Indian culture and the Indian music industry, it really, you can tell like even artists take time off and away
Yes.
because they want to build families. It seems to be so ingrained. So I guess in that sense, you kind of got a hold of some things, some principles together. Also,
I
the
wonder
impact of religion, I think, is ginormous.
I wonder if that's where it comes from, like the religious classical singing into somehow being intertwined into
Yeah.
popular music, and I don't know.
In
Let
case
us
you did-
know.
In case you didn't know, we are from South America. We're not British, like Venezuela. So I know the different people from all over, tune in and tune out and stuff. So I don't want to presume that everyone knows.
Yeah, definitely.
So it is always super interesting because in Venezuela we would have never been exposed to any of the music, in Asia.
No.
But let us know what you guys thought about it. And there are plenty more legendary performances. The more Alka-Yagnik performances we haven't checked out. Udit Narayan. We just discovered him. Kumar. Kumar
Kishore
Sanu.
Kumar. También.
And then Kishore Kumar is another one.
I thought you were
I don't know
talking
if it's the
about
same
Kishore.
person. It's not the same. Different people.
I think it's different people.
So let us know, and we will check them out.